Welcome to another exciting edition of Candid Talk, and today we are going to be interacting with Ackson Mwale AKA the famous Chef of Lusaka. Ackson Mwale is the CEO of Mr. Chef Pie Production, and let's get to hear more about his entrepreneurship journey and more as we get to chat with him. Mr. Mwale, it's good to have you on Candid Talk.
Well, it's always a pleasure, and I'm quite humbled to be actually featured on Candid Talk. Well, I'm happy.
Okay, great, Mr. Mwale. To start with, before we talk about your entrepreneurship journey, tell us about yourself. Who is this famous Chef of Lusaka?
Well,
Mwale.
Mwale is just a simple young man. Mwale is from a family of 4, and is the firstborn, and 2 boys and 2 girls. Yeah, that's just how I can put it.
Okay.
That's about Mwale.
Okay, great. Yeah. Tell us about your childhood. How was it? What character were you? Your childhood?
Well, in my childhood, I can say I was just a church-going child. I grew up spending most of the time at church. Yes, I grew up as a church boy most of the time. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Tell us about your educational background.
My education background. Actually, my education background, I was in the Copper Belt, Ndola. I've lived in the Copper Belt, Lubuto. Yeah, and I did my grade 1 at Lubuto Secondary School, primary school. Okay. Up to grade 4 as far as I can remember, up until we moved from Ndola to Lusaka. Okay. Yeah, and when we came here in Lusaka, I started my grade 5 at Kablonga Basic, way up to grade 7, and when I wrote my grade 7, I started my grade 8 at Eden Christian School. Yeah, I'm also been at Eden Christian School. Yeah, and from there, when I passed my grade 9, I moved on and I went to complete my grade 12 school. My grade 12 at Kablonga Boys. Yeah, that's where I was. Yeah, that's how it's been.
So, okay, so from Kablonga Girls, you never went for further education?
No, due to friends. Okay. Because I've been raised by a single parent.
Okay, great.
Mother only, yes. Yeah.
So, Mr. Mwale, are you married?
No, not yet. I guess I'm still on the look. I'm searching. Okay. Yeah, until you find that actually the so-called perfect.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So that means you don't even have a child?
I don't have a child. Yeah, I don't have a child.
Okay, moving into your business. Tell us about your business. How did it start?
Well, it's been quite a long journey. My business, in business. At first, before I started something my own, I'm actually one person who has been inspired by my mother. Okay. A very brave woman. I'm so proud of my mother. You know, she's been into business. So having grown with somebody who's business minded, it was with my mother. It was always about business. At some point, she was selling fish. She could go to Luangwa there to order fish. From there, she could go to Nakonde, just like that. So in my when I was a bit young, we could just help out, helping mom. So that's why I developed that interest, I say loving, business, because we could also be given something to sell, So she could go to Nakonde to order clothes, and we're given clothes. We could go to Salama Park, yeah, just like that. That has been my business journey. That's where it all started, before I started something my own.
Okay. Yeah. So when did you officially enter into this entrepreneurship business?
As far as I can remember, I think it's been some good 7 years or so. That's when I started something serious, something of my own. Though it hasn't really been easy.
Okay.
Those who knows me can actually, concur with me, and actually they can.
So you're saying it hasn't been easy. Tell us, what does it take for one to be an entrepreneur like you?
Well, a lot. I tell you, a lot. One really needs to be strong. Okay. There are a lot of obstacles and challenges that comes our way, but you really have to be creative. You really have to think. It's all about thinking, and you just have to be strong.
Can you just highlight some of the challenges that you face in this career of yours?
The challenges that I would face, it's an issue of perhaps sometimes I would say at first where it all started from, because before I ventured into this business of pies, I used to sell some sweet rolls. Those sweet rolls, at first I could walk all the way from where I stayed to where my customers were. You can imagine you're walking from Havondale to Unza, you could go to Garden on foot.
Okay.
Yeah, so the main challenges that I had, it was about, it's still about transport, I guess.
Yeah.
So my movements, I couldn't meet my customers in time. Others could complain, say, no, you're bringing your products a bit late, just like that. So that I can say have been one of the challenges that I've had.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Mwale, how do you advertise your products? Do you use social media, or radio station, or by television? Tell us.
No, not anything like that. I tell you, for me, it hasn't really been about yelling or shouting, calling people, hey, I've got this. I think the way you present yourself would draw the attention of people.
Okay.
Just the way you present yourself. And when I thought of maybe perhaps wearing this chef jacket, I thought, because I realized I'll be dealing with a lot of people, different people, food stuff is something that is very sensitive. So I needed to look clean, and hygiene is very important.
Okay.
So the way I presented myself is what drew the attention of many of my customers that are out there. You find that from home, I'm going to a certain place, delivering my pies. One will just stop their vehicle saying, I just want to buy your pie because you're looking clean and all that. So I think how you present your products and how you go about it, it's what really matters.
Okay,
it doesn't really about, I haven't done any advertising.
Okay, so you see, many people use social media to advertise their products because through social media they are able to reach a lot of people.
Okay.
But for you, being that you are the famous Chef of Lusaka,
Okay.
how did you become famous as a chef?
Like I put it, sorry to cut you short, like I put it, it's just the way you present yourself. And many would be amazed by the way I'm looking. They'll be like, who is this chef? And others would think, no, I'm actually doing this for someone else, but it's just something of my own. So it has been like that.
So how do you move?
How do I move? Like I said, at first I was just moving on foot. Yeah, but I thought of, to ease my movements, I went to acquire a loan at AB Bank. I needed to buy a bicycle.
Okay.
So when I got that loan, I bought a bicycle, which has really helped me in my business.
Okay.
Yeah, somehow it has really helped me.
So you don't have a stationary place where you...
We have a place where we bake those pies from. It's a shop.
Where you bake from?
Yeah, where we bake pies from. We used to run a grocery. So when we stopped, my mother started a business of baking cakes. People would actually hire.
Okay.
We just actually order cakes.
Okay.
Sometimes pizza. A lot of stuff like scones, special scones and samosas like that. So from there, that's where I said, okay, maybe I can actually do this. I started doing that.
So how do you rate your pies? How unique are your pies to other people's pies or companies that
people have different ideas, about what they do, and everyone, we're living in this competitive world. There's too much competition. So when you say how unique are my pies, I think it's just the people that can say. You can tell by the majority of the customers I have. So I wouldn't really say my pies are unique. And this is how this is how they're unique. This is what I do and all that. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, so if you don't mind, how many pies do you bake like per day? Or do you make per day?
When I'm feeling okay, when I'm not tired, I would bake about 120 pies. Yes, but when I'm a bit tired, I'll bake about 80 pies a day. Yeah.
And how much do you make out of maybe suppose you've baked 120?
Because I sell one pie, it goes at 10 kwacha.
At 10
sold at
kwacha.
10 kwacha.
That would be
it's only
1,000.
recently when a certain institution started ordering pies from me at 15 kwacha, then they're selling at 20 kwacha. But as for me myself, I sell my pies at 10 kwacha only. So when you talk of how much would I have if I bake about 120 pies, that's about 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah, that's
wow.
each day. Yeah.
There is money in entrepreneurship, right?
A lot. You really have to think. It's all about having friends.
Okay, so you said you have some institutions that order pies from you. Can you mention one thing?
I thank God. One of them is the University of Zambia.
Wow.
At Unza.
Okay.
I supply them and they do order pies from me. They really love them. They enjoy them a lot. And I'm quite humbled that an institution like a university, like that one, actually they thought of actually supporting a young entrepreneur like myself.
Yeah,
and I'm quite humbled and I'm so appreciative for that.
That's so inspiring. So
and also, I thought of there's a man that I spoke to me at Eden, but it's just not around, so it's not within. So he said as soon as I come back, we'll sit down and we'll talk. We'll also be supplying us your pies at Eden. Is it Eden? Eden University. Yeah.
So you said you make, if you baked 120 pies, you would make 1,200. So how much would be your net profit?
Well, initially, I only use about 600, 500. Yeah. That's the money that I use to buy everything that I need to bake those pies. Then you can now calculate.
I see.
Imagine how
somewhere
much
900, 800.
800
which is
about 7, 8.
Still a very big, huge amount.
Yes.
Money per day.
Per day.
Wow,
yes.
that's that is so inspiring. Okay, so we move on, Mr. Mwale. Your pies attract a lot of customers because of how delicious they are, as they describe them. Okay. Tell us, what is your secret?
Well, it's a secret is a secret, and we'll just put it as in it's just a secret. There's no way a secret can be unveiled. It's just a secret.
What advice would you give to a youth out there with the perception that education is the only way to success? Let me put it, schooling, or rather formal education. You don't really have, yes, education is really a key to success. And of late I've thought of, because to be quite honest, I never did well in terms of like when I sat for my grade 12 exam. So I thought of like I'm starting. I want to I'll be going for night school. Yeah. But when it comes to what I can, as in the advice I can give to my fellow young people, I know there are a lot of young people out there who have unique ideas, but you don't just have to sit and you really have to make efforts. You really have to. There's money in what God gave you, like talent. We are gifted in different ways. So if you're good at something, you really need to develop
develop whatever skills, whatever talent you have, you need to work on whatever it is that you have in you. So you don't have just to sit around and start, for instance, it's not all the time that we have to blame the government.
Yeah.
There's something that we can do to actually contribute to the economy of this country. That's about, us. We have to be innovative. We have to actually think outside the box. It's not really about, there are a lot of people who have made it in life, and not that they're all that educated, but you find that one that does not even know how to speak English, proper English, That, they're having a lot of money.
Very true.
Yeah, that's because they really thought of making use of their talent. They said, let me use my talent, let me use what I have within myself. All of us, we have something special in us. So that's what I can say.
No, that's powerful, Mr. Mwale. Where do you see yourself in the near future, Mr. Chef of Lusaka?
I've always had a dream, like I want to open a restaurant, of which very soon to open. When you find a restaurant, actually Mr. Chef Restaurant, that's going to be the name of that restaurant. So you find that restaurant, just know that it's Mr. Chef. Yeah, so just walk in and come and have a taste of a variety of food that we will be having then. But I'm seeing myself somewhere, as in,
Entrepreneurship creates employment. Do you have workers? And how many?
Workers have been coming and going, are not really staying with me for a long time.
Why?
I've had a challenge in terms of when you involve somebody, they would not be proud of the kind of job that the nature of the job that they have. The majority of my fellow youths, they would actually be shy about what they're doing. They really concentrate and focus on what they are hearing out there. Many of them would be like,
especially school leavers.
School leavers. I've completed my grade 12, and I can't simply be moving around with a bucket selling somebody's pies.
Even a graduate from the university, college,
actually can start working. And actually, I remember you just reminded me. I spoke to a certain scholar, someone from from university. They happen. We know each other. So I actually spoke to one of them. I was like, okay, not only them, but I spoke to even some of the youths that I know, and I could actually give them a good offer. And I would tell somebody that there are customers out there, because I have customers almost everywhere. There's no place that I haven't been to. I've been to State Lodge, I've been to Waterfalls, I've been, just to mention but a few, I've been to, Garden, Northmead. So I have a lot of customers. So I would say customers are already there. So I'll introduce you to my customers, but I just want you to be delivering these pies to my customers. So now, I just want you to be, if you manage to finish 40 pies, and I'll give you 100 kwacha a day. That's transport and lunch inclusive. But imagine, that's 40 pies.
Wow.
Some of them started, but along the line, I don't know.
They gave up.
They gave up after,
Wow.
I really got surprised. So, especially when you're living in Lusaka, your life in Lusaka, one really have to be strong. I don't know about other places because I've never been there outside Lusaka, but if you're living in Lusaka, my dear, or in Zambia, like Jeke put it in his song, if you can make it in Zambia, you can make it elsewhere. So it's not really about the nature of your job, it's about earning some income, some money, making money. It's about making money. As for me, I don't mind, just mind my own business. I'm just in my own world and running my business. I know where I'm standing and where I want to be and what I want to become. Just like that.
Powerful. What is your biggest achievement?
This. Perhaps I can say it's also part of my my biggest achievement. One, working hard to an extent where you're being recognized, it is something else, It is quite an honor and it is something brilliant. For me, I'm quite humble. There are a lot of people who are working hard out there, But for me to be here on this platform, it is something that is really amazing, mind-blowing. I'm really, really, really quite humbled. So this, I can say, it is also my biggest achievement. It's because I've achieved something through my hard working. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay. What challenges do you face in your business, especially in this COVID period or time?
Well, we just have, for me, when we talk of the challenges I would face, especially during this period, okay, they haven't really been challenges because my business is different from just maybe a shop where people would be crowded, would just come and stack up just there in that shop and just like that. So my business is delivery. It's on delivery, you know, I just deliver my one customer.
Yeah.
So I meet them one-on-one.
Okay.
You get it. So I've had some challenges like just some individuals out there just getting, you know, they get scared. You know, this COVID thing, they'll get scared to buy my pies and be like, I don't know where you've been, perhaps. Just like that. Yeah. So that has been a challenge. But those people that there have been people who have really believed in what I do, just like that. And
I've got a question. What kind of a Zambian youth would you love to see in the future? Being that you have set a very good example of being able to do by yourself.
I tell you the truth, I would love to see in Zambia, our nation, to have the kind of youths who are so brave, you know, so hardworking, depending on themselves. I think there's something that has been affecting a lot of youths out there. When you make some money, you think that you have it all. At times they'll think of just squandering all of it. Sometimes they'll waste all their money in beer drinking. You start maybe all that at an early stage, it becomes a problem. But if you want to be somebody who will make it in your life and actually, you know, living a better life, it all begins by self-discipline and hard work, just like that. I'm not saying that doing or engaging yourself in some of these certain things, it's really it's wrong, but it's about how you do it. Some of them, they just overdo it, you know, but you have to focus on your goal. It's all about hard work, just like that. So I would love to see a nation full of youths who are hardworking, of which I know that I do meet my fellow youths out there, and I would be proud.
Okay, great. That's powerful from Mr. Mwale. I hope the youths out there are getting inspired from what you're saying.
Thank you.
Lessons. Okay, so what else do you do apart from pie production, Mr. Mwale?
From my childhood, ever since I was young, music has always been in me.
Okay.
My life has been...
You're also a musician.
Of course. I hope to become an artist, a singer, a musician, because apart from what I do, I spend time, I love being at home. When I'm resting, when I'm done doing whatever it is I'm doing, my life has been about writing. I write songs, compose songs, and I write movies. And I've always looked forward to become a director.
You are also into movie industry.
Movie.
You are so talented.
Yeah, so movie writing, wanting to become a director, write songs. And currently, recently I've been in the studio. Last year, I started recording songs, and I've got about a good number of them. But I am not thinking of actually coming up with an album yet.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be releasing singles.
I see, Mr. Chef. People out there are not going to believe that you really are a musician until you do a demo for us. You are going to sing before we go. You have to do one song for us.
Okay.
Of course. So I know someone who has come with you will do some acoustic for you.
Okay.
Okay, great. So what song are you gonna sing for us?
There is a song, as far as I can remember. Somebody, a very good colleague, a friend of mine.
Okay.
It's a very song. I love the song. Yeah. So maybe I can do that one just a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's listen to what Mr. Mwale has for us in terms of a song.
So special in my life, and you mean a lot to me. We got a lot to talk about. Hold my hand. We got a lot of stories to share with each other. Hold my hand. We got a lot to talk about. Said hold my hand. We got a lot of stories to share with each other. My voice is bad anyway.
Wow, that was
I love that
awesome.
song a lot. I love
That
it.
was awesome, Mr. Mwale. That was awesome. How talented you are.
Okay.
Mr. Mwale, before we close the program, what are your last remarks?
Well, there's a lot in my mind.
Okay.
Actually, what I would love to say. First of all, I would like to thank my customers.
Okay.
First of all, I want to thank my mother for having, being there for me, having taught me all these things that I've learned from her in terms of, as far as where business is concerned. And also, I would like to thank in a special way the Smart Eagles for having featured me on this Candid Talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really so humbled. Yeah, this can be my last words.
Mr. Mwale, it was our pleasure to have you on Candid Talk.
Pleasure so much.
We're looking
So
forward
happy.
to feature you.
I can't
next
wait.
time.
I can't wait. Thank you.
Well, people, I believe you have been inspired in one way or another. Please stay tuned to our program. Remember to catch us again on Wednesday. Goodbye and God bless.